That's a delusion because I'm not thinking something's there. I feel like the world is conspiring against me. That's an untrue interpretation of the world. A hallucination is, hearing a voice that's saying something cruel and horrible to me that other people don't hear, and I begin to associate it as a spirit or a real thing in my life. And it takes a lot of self-talk to trust that that's not true, that's not real, and to resist that. And a lot of people that have schizophrenia might have experienced that as well.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, one of the big things that I got out of this this mail from Betsy, and thank you, Betsy, for writing this in. And she tweeted us a while ago and said she's working on it.
That's right.
Let me just say, well worth the wait.
Well worth the wait. Good job.
It really brought a smile to my face reading this, because one of the things that I want to commend you on is adaptability.
Yes.
That's huge. Taking something like this, having this diagnosis, and then just having that attitude of, okay, I just adapt to it. That's
right.
it. I change the way I do things. I find a career that's going to fit with what I have to do. I utilize the tools around me, therapy, but it's complete adaptation.
Yes.
Right? It's going with it. It's kind of like, I often use the example, like in therapy, I use the metaphor of kind of like navigating rapids. Mm-hmm. If you've ever gone whitewater rafting, you're kind of aiming, but you're going with it. Mm-hmm. You're not trying to paddle upstream.
Right.
You're not trying to, you don't decide I'm going that way.
Right.
You kind of like,
You're
okay,
going downstream.
It's going this way.
Right.
I'm going to do this to, compensate. And this is a great example of how to do this.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And I got to say, Nick, these scoops are badasses.
I know, right?
They are badasses.
Right?
I mean, that's pretty awesome. Back-to-back scoops. And, tip of the cap to that community, because it's positive, it's affirming, and I like that these are the kinds of people that are in it, that are just honest about their stuff and still find a note of encouragement and good humor. And Betsy, awesome sauce, man, and total tip of the cap that you came out with this on Mental Health Month. And folks, if you're out there, I want you to be inspired. I want you to be inspired by Heather. I want you to be inspired by Betsy. I want you to consider, hey, you know what? There's organizations of people, there's clubs of people like the Scoops and like whatever the hell our team is going to be called, who love you, dude, and we're with you. And you know what? There's no shame in your game. Just I want to copyright what Betsy said. No shame in this crazy game.
Absolutely.
And there is no shame in it, man. And therapy is for everybody, guys. It has a value in your life. You get out of it what you put into it. But I strongly encourage folks, if you're going through something, get some support, man. It's not a label. It's not an act of surrender. It's not a concession that you're broken or that you need the help. It's accepting support for what it's there for. It's there to help you live.
Yeah. Thank you for writing in, and keep up the good work.
Salt pork.
Salt pork.
Which is now our salutation to all of our Scoop friends. Did you finish
okay,
your Starbucks?
And that sound means we're out of time.
that means Nick's out of his what is it? A venti iced white mocha extra
yes,
whip.
It is. Thank you.
I always order that, and they go, "Here's your girlfriend's drink." I'm like, Thanks.
I don't care.
No
shame in my game either.
But that's funny because I tease you, and then the one time we went to Starbucks together, and you were like, "What do you want, Jim?" And I was like, "The very berry hibiscus." And you were like, "Really?" Like all the shit you give me. That's all the time that we've got for this week's session. Thank you to those who contributed to our show today. We really appreciate it. Remember, pod therapy isn't something you should keep all to yourself. Help us reach others by sharing this episode. You can find us at facebook.com/podtherapy or on Twitter @podtherapyguys.
Do you want to add your own advice to today's questions? Post your thoughts at podtherapy.net and join the conversation. I'm Nick Tangeman.
I'm
Thanks, and we'll see you for your appointment next week.